welcome back. You're tuned into the Power Station Energy 100 with LCB Dunyani. As your hostess, we are busy talking Econo Chat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinman, and we are talking green hydrogen. For those who just tuned in, quite interesting topic because we have questions, but we don't have answers to the questions. And like we spoke off air, that there's a lot happening in Namibia. The government says this and that we will make so much money, and life will become better in Namibia. But the question is also, how long do we have to wait until the money comes in? Because there's a lot of investors, aiming at Namibia in regards to green hydrogen. But before we get to those questions, Mr. Daniel Steinman, we did leave a question with what is blue hydrogen? Something that I have not heard before. But Mr. Daniel Steinman, can you please elaborate?
LCB, it's a very valid remark that you've just made about the huge expectations of all the massive amounts of money that we're suddenly going to have access to. And that may be so, or it may not be so. But this is the reason why the whole hydrogen debate started featuring on my radar. It's because of these promises of riches beyond our dreams. And one thing that came out in this conference last week, and I was very, very appreciative of the fact that the person who presented that to us, he's very involved in the whole hydrogen industry, that he gave an honest answer. And when I asked them, okay, the whole world, the whole Namibia is now running away, but we're just going to get millions of dollars from green hydrogen without most of the people knowing what green hydrogen is. And then he said, you have to realize this is a 10 to 20 year project. So immediately there you have a rational point of view. That they're not going to send us each a check for $1 million in 2024. We're not going to have a hydrogen plant in 2024. We will be very lucky if the legal environment has changed sufficiently so that the people behind the hydrogen projects can actually start building or constructing. And just before the break, I said blue hydrogen. Now, everybody is, the buzzword is green hydrogen. And you go talk to people in the street, they don't have the foggiest clue what it is. It's just a label. It's just a word that they heard, an idea. And it's going to make us rich. So
I can recall that one day somebody asked me, why is it called green hydrogen? Because Namibia is not a very green country.
Well, good question, but I remember I explained that. The source of the energy.
You did.
Hydrogen is an extremely energy intensive manufacturing process. You need millions and millions and millions of kilowatts to generate a relatively small amount of hydrogen. So you need electricity. And if the electricity is too expensive, you don't generate green hydrogen, you generate normal hydrogen. So what is blue hydrogen? Blue hydrogen is generally the label that is used in Europe, especially in the German economy, to indicate the hydrogen manufactured from the natural gas that comes from Russia.
Okay.
Now, immediately, when you say manufacture, you need to make a distinction that in the industry, there are two main areas of production. The one is that you make hydrogen proper, clean, or pure, only hydrogen. The other one is that you manufacture ammonia. And I'll come back to the distinction between the two in the last part of today's discussion. But at this point, blue hydrogen is hydrogen that you manufacture from natural gas, liquefied natural gas, LNG. And it is if you look at the current hydrogen industry worldwide, which is very big, don't think it's something new that we are that is sort of being designed or devised now for the investment in Namibia. There's a very, very huge established hydrogen industry across the world. It's used for a lot of things. So it's either in its pure form as hydrogen, where it is mostly used for energy generation, or in its derivative ammonia, which is a combination between nitrogen and hydrogen. Nitrogen, which is very prevalent in the atmosphere, and hydrogen, which is very abundant in water. The problem with blue hydrogen is when you manufacture hydrogen from natural gas, the carbon footprint is very big. It's very significant. You create more or less 3 times more carbon dioxide waste from the manufacturing process for blue hydrogen than what you would generate from using electricity that came from a coal-fired power station. So can you immediately see this carbon heavy footprint of blue hydrogen is one of the things that gave rise to the label green hydrogen in the industry. So everybody realizes we need hydrogen, we need ammonia. Blue hydrogen, the conventional type of hydrogen that we've been manufacturing for the last 50, 60, 70 years, has a huge carbon footprint. It actually contaminates the planet further. So we need to get away from using liquid gas or natural gas as a source of producing hydrogen, and we need to get away from using standard main grid electricity to reduce that gas to hydrogen. So blue hydrogen is a no-no. It increases our environmental problems. Green hydrogen is what we're all striving for, but we first need to put up the renewable plants before we can actually meaningfully talk about green hydrogen.
Let's quickly end it there. We will go for a short break, and once we come back, we will of course talk about, or rather ask, why ammonia?